Hey everyone and welcome back. Today we're checking out Animal Nitrate by Suede. It's really exciting to do this one today. I love the riff. On the record, the guitars aren't tuned in E standard and they're not tuned in E flat. They're kind of somewhere in the middle. They're only in tune with themselves. It's a little bit like Don't Look Back in Anger and Some Might Say and all those kind of tracks. Bit of a weird one, not to worry today though, because we've got a backing track which is in E. It's just a little bit fast for some reason, but I'll take it though, that's fine by me. Another thing to remember is that before we do this, or when we're doing the lesson, I really recommend watching the interview with Bernard Butler. It's really, really good. He talks about all the kind of things with, you know, how he wrote the song and all that kind of game. Anyway, it's brilliant. Go check it out and then come back and watch this video. Okay, so we're going to kick off the song by checking out that introduction guitar part. It's a really, really great part to play. Such a shame they only play it at the beginning of the song. If you've got a flange pedal, definitely think about turning it on. Anyway, it's just going to go like this. We're going to be starting off with that kind of B suspended sound. And the riff is just going to be us putting our middle finger onto that 3rd fret of the B and then taking it back off again. Getting our kind of minor sound there. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that we're going to do a down and up stroke as a lead-in into the riff. Anyway, we're going to take the riff down to an A. And for that I'm just going to be barring my index finger there, 2nd fret, and then ring finger coming over to the 3rd fret of the B again to get the riff. And then we're going to do an interesting one. We're going to move over to a kind of G kind of riff. We're going to have our middle finger at the 3rd fret of the E, muting the A string, open D, open G, and then we've got our 2nd fret of our B, moving over to our 3rd fret of our B, and then open, and into an E minor. We're then going to do this turnaround riff. We're going to slide into the 5th fret of the B, and then 3rd fret, pull it off, and then another open B there. It's not the worst thing in the world if you hit the open E string there as well. Those notes are related just fine. Anyway, the 2nd time round, we're going to do a full B minor chord, and then pick the riff up back at the A. And we're going to do a slightly different riff now on the G. We're going to do this. So the melody is going to be us going from the 2nd fret of the B to open, to the 2nd fret of the G to open. And to follow that up, we're going to do a slightly different turnaround as well. Sliding up to the 7th fret of the B to 5th to 3rd, or we could do it on the D string. We could go 4th to 2nd and open. Up to you which way around you do that, both are just fine. Anyway, we're then going to do the riff again for a 3rd time, just how we did it the 1st time round. And then the 4th time, the G, we're going to do a slightly different riff again. We've got a couple of options. We can either go B 2nd fret there to open, and then to 2nd fret of the G into an E minor, or we could do 2nd fret of the B going open to the 2nd fret of the G, hammering onto the 4th fret of the G there. now going to talk about the verse chords, and it's going to be nice and simple compared to the introduction. Just goes like this. We're going to be starting with a B minor chord, and the real trick here is to play the lower half of the chord first, then the higher end afterwards. We're going to do the same thing with an A, and if you can stretch out your pinky finger to the 5th fret of the B and E, then definitely do it. And then we're going to do this little riff. We're going to go 3rd to 2nd to 3rd on the E, open A, then open A another time, hammering onto the 2nd fret, open D, and then we're going to do that again, open A, hammering onto 2nd fret and open D, and then a final open A. Anyway, we're then going to do the chord progression around a second time, and we're going to do a slightly different riff. We're going to go 3rd, 2nd, 3rd on the E like we did before. Then we're going to do the open A, then again hammering onto the 2nd fret, open D, but then we're going to play the open D another time and a hammer on and pull off the 2nd fret and play the open A. We're going to play the chord progression through a 3rd time, and then a 4th time, and then another variation on the riff to finish. We're going to go 3rd to 2nd, we're going to do that 3 times, open A, hammer on to 2nd fret, open D, and into the chorus. We're now going to check out the chorus guitar, and it's just going to go like this. We're going to start with a D chord here. And almost immediately afterwards, we're going to go to the 3rd fret of the G and slide it up to the 4th fret. And use our index finger here to bar the B and E strings of the 3rd fret. Which creates our sort of G kind of triad. And then we're going to play that 4th fret of the G, slide it back down to the 3rd, and back to a D again. Back up, and then we're going to go into a riff. We're going to start on the 7th fret of the D, hammering onto the 9th. Same thing on the G string, 7 to 9. And we can choose to either let that note ring out and then bend it up and down, or play it again and bend it up and down. Either way, we're going to land at the 7th fret of the G, go down to the 9th of the D, down to the 7th of the D. We're then going to play that again and climb up to the 9th fret, and play twice on the 7th of the G, and then we're going to repeat that again, starting from the 7th of the D. And to finish, we're going to go to the 9th of the G, pull off to the 7th, and land at the 9th of the D. We're going to go back into the D chord, sliding into the G. And then we're going to do something a little bit strange. We're going to do this. We're going to go to the 7th fret and bar the G, B and E strings, and then use our pinky finger to play the 10th fret of the high E. We're then going to go to sort of A bar chord, sort of Hendrix shape here, and use our pinky finger to go onto the 7th fret of the E. And then we're going to play a C, and then a C with a G in the bass there. We're now going to tackle the solo, and it just goes like this. We're going to start at the 2nd fret of the G, hammering on to the 3rd, and then to the 4th. And then we're going to play the 2nd fret of the E. We're going to play that twice and then pull it off. We're going to go back to the 2nd fret, hammering on to the 3rd and 4th. And then middle finger now is going to be playing the 3rd fret of the E. We're going to play that twice and pull it off. And then same thing again, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And then 4th fret, with our pinky finger here playing that. And pulling off. We're going to go up and then down and then climb up again. And this is where it gets interesting. Once again, we're going to climb from 2nd, 3rd to 4th. And instead of going to our middle finger here on the 3rd fret, as if we were climbing back down, instead of doing that, we're going to do this. We're going to go 3rd fret of the B, going down to 2nd. And then we're going to play the 2nd fret again, hammer onto the 3rd, back to 2nd, and then pull off completely. And then land at the 2nd fret of the G. The second phrase is going to go like this. We're going to go open on the B, back to the 2nd fret of the G, 4th fret on the D, going to 2nd on the D. The third phrase sounds like this. We're going to go 2nd to 4th on the D, and then 2nd on the G. And then we're going to go 2nd to 4th on the G to 2nd on the B there, and we're going to play that twice and then play once on the 3rd fret of the B. Again, to review, phrases 1, 2 and 3 sound like this so far. I'll play that again. The fourth phrase sounds like this. We're going to go 2nd to 3rd on the B, open E, then 2nd to 3rd on the high E, Then we're going to go open, second, open, third fret of the B, open E, third fret of the B. Again, I'll recap, starting from phrase number 1. And one more time. The fifth phrase sounds like this. We're going to start at the second fret of the B and we're going to hammer on to the third and pull it back off. Then going to roll our index finger to the second fret of the G and we're going to slide that up to the fourth. And then we're going to bar that and play the fourth fret of the E and then fourth fret of the B. To recap, the solo sounds like this so far. The sixth and final phrase sounds like this. So we're going to start now with our fifth fret of our G, and then we're going to play fourth of the E, and then fourth of the B, and we're going to do that twice. Then we're going to play an extra note, we're going to do another fourth fret of the E, and then we're going to slide that shape up one fret and go through once of that. And then we're going to slide up into a D shape here at the sort of 9th and 10th frets. Starting with the index finger on the 9th fret of the G, and we've got obviously ring finger, 10th of the B, and then middle finger on the 9th of the E. And that'll take us nicely into the chorus. Coming towards the end of the song now, we're just going to be checking out the outro, and it just sounds like this. So I like to think of this as two parts, and the first one going like this. Starting at the 7th fret there of the B. We'll play that 3 or 4 times. And then we're going to play the 8th fret of the B and pull it back off to the 7th fret. And then we're going to go to the 9th fret of the G, going back to the 7th fret. We're then going to use our pinky finger to play the 10th fret of the B. And then we're going to go to the 7th fret of the D. It's a bit of a jump there. We're going to play that a few times as well. And we're going to hammer on to the 9th fret and then play the 7th of the G again. And then we're going to go to the 9th fret of the G and pull it back off to the 7th. The second part sounds like this. Starting at the 10th fret of the B and immediately going back down to the 7th of the B. And then we're going going to do the same thing. We're going to pull off from the 8th fret, going back to 7, then go 9, 7 on the G, and then we're going to do our repeating lick, which will be familiar from our chorus, starting on the 7th fret of the D, hammering on to the 9th, twice on the 7th fret of the G, and again starting on the D, 7th fret, going to 9, twice on the 7th fret of the G, and then going to the 9th fret of the G, pulling off, and landing at the 9th fret of the D. Put the two parts together and we have this. Okay, so that was my lesson on Animal Nitrate by Suede. I really hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.